In this video, we're going to explore stress and its role in the workplace from an organizational behavior perspective. First, what is stress and how does it relate to stressors and strains? Stress is the body's reaction to demanding or threatening situations. It's a state of mental, emotional, or physical tension that occurs when we face challenges, which are also called stressors. Stressors are those events or conditions that trigger stress, like tight deadlines, conflicts at work, or major life changes. Strains refer to the negative consequences that result from prolonged exposure to stress. And strains can include things like burnout, health problems, or even substance abuse. In organizational behavior, it's essential to recognize that stress is actually not always bad. It can be a positive thing. It can motivate individuals to perform better when managed well. However, if stress is left completely unchecked, it can lead to significant issues, both for the individual and the organization. Now let's talk about the 4 categories of stressors: work, non-work, hindrance, and challenge. Work stressors are those challenges that arise from the job responsibilities. That's why they're called work-related stressors. This includes things like deadlines, heavy workloads, and unclear job expectations. Some of these stressors, like the tight deadlines, they can push people to be more productive and be positive, while others can just be overwhelming and negative. Non-work related stressors are those that originate from non-work places, like the home. This includes things like personal events, like family issues, financial difficulties, a bad breakup, health problems. Non-work stress can impact job performance just as much as workplace stress. Hindrance stressors are those negative stressors that block progress or hinder, that's why we call them hindrance stressors, because they create obstacles in achieving our goals. An example might be at work. You've got a bureaucratic process you have to navigate through, lots of red tape. It's frustrating, it just slows you down, and it feels like it's standing in your way. That is an example of a common workplace hindrance stressor. Challenge stressors are stressors that, while they are demanding, yes, they can encourage growth and achievement. An example of this would be taking on a new ambitious project at work, which could ultimately lead to personal and professional development, which are positive things. Next, let's talk about how we cope with stress. Coping with stress involves 2 main strategies: problem-focused coping and emotion-focused coping. When we focus on the problem, that's problem-focused coping. This approach involves addressing the problem directly to either remove or reduce the stressor. For example, if you're really overwhelmed with just too many tasks at work, a problem-focused coping strategy would be to sit down and prioritize your workload, or maybe ask your supervisor for some help. Emotion-focused coping is completely different. With this strategy, it's all about managing your emotional responses to stress rather than addressing the cause of the stress itself. Emotion-focused coping strategies include things like meditation, exercise, and seeking social support. Both strategies can be effective depending on the situation, and people often use a combination of these 2 to deal with stressors in and out of the workplace. Now let's talk about how stress relates to job performance and organizational commitment. Remember that the 2 key outcomes of organizational behavior are job performance and organizational commitment. And not surprisingly, stress has a direct impact on them both. When it comes to job performance, a moderate level of stress can be a good thing. It can enhance performance because it pushes employees to meet deadlines and to handle challenges effectively. However, excessive or chronic stress can be a bad thing, leading to mistakes, reduced productivity, burnout, and that can significantly lower job performance. When it comes to organizational commitment, high levels of unrelieved stress can lead to disengagement, causing employees to feel completely disconnected from their work and the organization. As a result of that, you can start to see things like absenteeism, high turnover rates, and a general decline in job satisfaction and loyalty to the organization. So, how can organizations help employees manage stress? We're starting to see a trend with this as organizations realize the role that stress plays on employees, and they're starting to help employees with managing it. Here are some common ways that they can do that. One is with workload management, by ensuring that employees have a manageable workload with realistic expectations and clear communication. Another is supportive leadership. Leaders can provide emotional and professional support, offer flexibility, and provide open communication to help their employees feel more in control and less stressed. Many companies now offer wellness programs that promote physical and mental health. These include resources like counseling services, mindfulness training, meditation sessions, or stress management workshops. And another great option is to create a positive work environment. A healthy work culture goes a long way in helping employees feel less stressed.